to set the world on fire. I just want to start a flame in your heart.
I don't want to set the world on fire, honey. I love you too much. I just want to start a great big flame down in your heart. You see, way down inside of me, darling, I have only one desire. And that one desire is you. And I know nobody else ain't gonna do.
I've lost all ambition for worldly acclaim. I just wanna be the one you love. And with your admission that you feel the same,
I'll have reached the goal I'm dreaming of. Believe me, I don't want to set the world on fire. I just want to start a flame in your heart. I don't want to set the world on fire. I just want to start a flame in your heart. In my heart I have but one desire, and that one is you. No other will do. I've lost all ambition for worldly acclaim. I just want to be the one you love. And with your admission that you feel the same, I'll have reached the goal I'm dreaming of. Believe me, I don't want to set the world on fire. I just want to start a flame in your heart.
I don't want to set the world on fire, honey. I love you too much. I just want to start a great big flame down in your heart. You see, way down inside of me, darling, I have only one desire. And that one desire is you. And I know nobody else ain't gonna do.
I've lost all ambition.
And we're live. Hello everybody, how are you all doing? As always, I was messing around before getting the live stream started, but hello, and I hope you're all having a good day. I hope you had a great weekend, because blimey, didn't that take off? If I remember rightly, on Friday I was saying to you guys, yeah, I mean, we could see it go up, and if it does, it'll probably go up and maybe hit 40 and then bounce around, but most likely it's going to range over the weekend. Well, I got that bit wrong, but I wasn't wrong about where we were heading with Bitcoin eventually, was I? So I could do a bit of a victory lap in that at least I got the general direction of Bitcoin right over the last couple of months. And I hope that you guys are all pretty chuffed about it as well, because, of course, it's looking pretty good. And there's actually a tweet that I think I should share with you, which sums up my feelings about crypto, about Bitcoin in general. But I think this one is the perfect tweet for today's market. We are a little bit down from there at the moment, but here is the tweet. For once, the world is normal again, according to Dalmaker, with Bitcoin having reached just over $40,000. Fantastic stuff. Glad to see it. But what does it mean? Okay, because, you know, we've been talking about this. We've been saying that, look, the actual bear trend is not going to be long lasting. It's not going to last forever. And we talked about that loads. But of course, we didn't know how long we were going to be stuck in that channel for, and it looks like we have had a breakout from that. We do have to be a little bit careful, but the fact is that, yes, we have broken out from it right now, so we're going to look at that, of course. So today's video is going to be, of course, about Bitcoin and the market in general. We're going to look at Bitcoin's chart, look at Ethereum, and whatever coins you guys want to look at as well. We're also going to talk about how Binance and FTX, as well as some other exchanges, have actually now banned high leverage trading, and whether that means that we actually may not see such volatility in Bitcoin moving forward from this point, or at least not the same sort of crazy volatility where we had billions of dollars being wiped off the market from over leveraged positions. So we get to talk about that. We're going to talk, of course, about Amazon and the rumors about them going full Bitcoin. And I will not be divulging insider information because that would be very, very, very bad of me. But I will be mentioning my feelings based off of my... Oh, God, how do I phrase it? It sounded like insider information. But basically, I'll be letting you know my feelings and my thoughts on what's happening with Amazon. And so we'll talk about that in today's video as well. And... yeah, other news to cover too, I'm sure. First up, though, I will just start off, I think, with sort of the thing that make everybody happy, which is, of course, to take a look at the actual charts. So let's go over and look at not the charts, the market overview, I mean. So let's go and take a look at the market and see what exactly is happening across the board. And this should make everybody smile. Right, Bitcoin, $38,550, up nearly 12%. It did get higher than this. Of course, had to pull back. But we'll look at the chart for that. Ethereum, up over $2,320 now. Doge, up to 21 cents. XRP as well, doing pretty well. And Cardano ADA, now up at $1.31, which is what we needed to see with Cardano, because as I was telling you on Friday, my main concern was just how little there was in regards to support below where it was. That has obviously resolved itself with this weekend's pump in the prices. So overall, the market is looking pretty decent. There are a couple of coins that have pulled back a little bit. Algorand is back a little bit, but then it's kind of not really pumped as much as the rest of this market today. But there have been some really good gainers over the course of the weekend. But now it's the beginning of the week, so how well is it going to do from here? So that's what we want to know, is where is the price going. So quickly though, I will say a quick hello to Jennifer in the chat there. How are you doing, Jennifer? Good to see you. And we've got Too Legit as well. Too Legit, thanks for joining us. I hope everybody's doing really well. Have you all been kind of excited about this? Have you FOMO'd in, or are you going to do what I'm going to do and hold on? Because I was telling you on Friday that if we did have a breakout, there was a pattern that I was going to be looking for. So I am, of course, waiting for that pattern and for that price action before I go all in on Bitcoin again. So what we'll do is very quickly, I will let people know in the Telegram group, make sure everybody's aware that we're live now, and then we're going to crack into some charts and then have a look at some news and such forth. So bear with me one moment. Let me get on here to Telegram and let everybody know we are live. Live now, guys. I'm letting everybody know. Probably should share the link, but yeah, there we go. So, what a fantastic weekend. And like I said, I did not really expect it to happen. I wasn't expecting Bitcoin to leap right up to the top of that channel in the matter of days. I guess the thing is that these weekends are, you know, they're either where we see the biggest losses or where we see the biggest gains, funny enough. And I wasn't ready for it yet. But it's here, and it ties in quite nicely with what we were saying about the hash rates for Bitcoin and all the rest of it. So, yeah, it does make sense that this is happening now. Obviously, the mining difficulty has come down for Bitcoin, and so we're going to see a little bit more money moving around with it. And I mean, we've, in my opinion, I feel we've bottomed out. But let's take a look and see what we got. So, I think we will crack on and go straight over to the charts now, guys, and take a look at what Bitcoin has been up to. And we will do some hellos and sort of some chat in a bit, but I think that it'd be good just to kind of like, one thing I thought is that with the live streams, they're great for when we're all chatting, but then I thought, well, anybody playing back then has to wait 10-15 minutes for me to stop waffling to everybody about just random stuff. So I figured what we'll do is we'll crack into the content and then we'll take a break to chat in a few minutes. So Bitcoin, what is it doing right now? It has broken out from that channel that we've been talking about, and it did in fact breach $40,000. It hasn't held itself up there, and we are seeing some of that correction from that resistance level now. But let's take a look at that. If I draw in some resistance lines, we can see that actually this was going to be hard resistance anyway for us to break through in one go. Volume has really pumped today. The level of volume today has been good. My only concern is that the volume has been just very sort of flat over the weekend, despite the fact that the price continued to move up, which means that people weren't kind of, what I would have expected here is for the volume to have suddenly peaked and then kind of continued with that pump, whereas this is actually very steady and very calm, and you know, the amount of volume, it looks almost identical each day, which to me is a little bit more sort of like, you know, I would say people have been saying that this could well be manipulated, and if it's the Wyckoff pattern, that would make sense that that's what's happening. So I do think that we have to be wary of that this volume here is a bit weird, that we've got such steady levels of volume even while the price is pumped and broken above. Now, we have got definitely a lot more volume in it today, but that does bring us in the RSI up closer to that overbought territory. Now, actually, if we change over our financials templates, let's go and take a look at... Oh no, that's the same template. What one am I looking for? Swing. Okay, we'll get ourselves out of the 1 minute, get ourselves into the 1 hour. What we want to do is we want to figure out what's likely to happen over the next couple of hours, okay? Because this is kind of where things will get interesting. Now, with Bitcoin, you can see that on the 1 hour time frame, it is actually finding support at 38,500 thereabouts. Let's change that to green. So we are, you know, we're inside the range on the actual stochastic RSI. The price is still actually above the 8 SMA on there as well. And when you're looking at these 1 hour time frames, or the even shorter time frames, you can use the SMAs as sort of like a guide as to where the swings are going to be in your sort of daily trading. And usually you want the price to remain above that 8 hour SMMA. So it does seem to be above there at the moment, so we might see it hold there, but I think it's much more likely for the price to maybe come back and settle at around 38k, and we'll probably see some actual ranging there perhaps over the next couple of hours. That wouldn't surprise me at all. What I am expecting though is for this kind of ranging to last a couple of days if this is going to be a sustainable breakout. So the longer we hold here, the better, in my opinion. But of course, the alternative is we actually pump up even higher. I mean, if we do actually pump up and get ourselves above the $40,000 level and break up through this resistance with some real volume, then I do think that we're probably actually going to see, we're going to see the price head up even higher before there's a proper retracement. But realistically speaking, I am expecting now for the price to come back down and test the top of this channel. People will kind of automatically panic, I believe, if we come back to this channel. But if we hold there, that's going to be my signal to buy, and that's when I'll be entering into a trade. If we do blast above 40,000 and stay above there, then I will reconsider my strategy at that point. But if you have a look here, when you look at the stochastic RSI, it is in the overbought territory when we're on the daily time frames. So we do need to be wary on that one. So let's have a look. And am I having a problem with? I believe I'm having a problem with the stream again. It's come out with an error on keyframe frequency. Oh, dearie me. Hey, is that Lowlade? Lowoyan. Sorry, I'm trying my best to pronounce your name. Lowlade or Lowlad? Tell me, is the first one or the second one? Howdy to you too as well. Thanks for joining in the chat there. Glad to see you there. I think that the stream has gone a bit, it's going a little bit haywire for me at the moment on the technical side of it, but nobody's complaining at me yet that it's cutting out. I've reduced, I don't know, Lowlade, if you saw, but I've had loads of problems with the stream recently where, because I have kids, they've been playing their games like Warzone, all the rest of it, and so my stream quality has been hit really bad. I've turned it down to 720p. Hopefully we'll be all right tonight. Lowlade says, thanks for the shout out, man, really enjoying this. No, you're welcome, I'm glad. And you know, at the end of the day, I love the interaction with you guys. So if you want to ask anything, if you want to look at any charts in a minute when we've done Bitcoin and Ethereum, please do let me know and we will take a look at those. That's what I'm here for. So yes, the shout out, you're more than welcome to it. Hopefully you're already subscribed to the channel, or if you're on Twitch, you're I think you're actually on YouTube, aren't you? So yeah, if you hopefully you're already subscribed to the channel. If not, please do me a massive favor, Lowlade, and just subscribe and hit the notification bell. And for those of you who are already subscribed, if you could definitely do me a big favor and like this video as well, that would be super awesome. I would really appreciate it. So yes, as I was saying, I wanted to just really jump into the actual charts for you guys first before we do the waffling and the chatting. But now that a few of you are in the chat, I think we'll just quickly say hello to a few of you. We've got Cheesley in the chat. Cheesley saying good evening. Hey Cheesley, good to see you, buddy. I'm glad you're with us for the stream. And I hope you're having a good weekend. I hope that you didn't sell your crypto. And I know you were asking me over and over, do I sell, do I sell? And I have been saying to you, I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's a good idea. Hopefully you haven't done that. I pray to the gods that you didn't go with your instinct and sell, mate, because we look like we may be heading back up. Sticky Note is in the chat as well. So a Sticky Note, hello, how are you doing? Good to see you there. Glad to see people coming into the stream now. That's awesome. And we will catch up. So I think it should show you guys on the screen above me the actual chat messages from people. I put in a chat box, although I don't actually see it myself. But over on Twitch, for some reason, the chats everybody was putting in were popping up. I added that in today because I figured that would be good to see what everybody was... Ah, yes! Saw it, and then it disappeared. It didn't stay up very long, did it? But yeah, I put that on there so everybody could see what the chats are, but it seems to only capture the chat from Twitch rather than from YouTube as well. But I guess on YouTube you guys can see the chat because it's actually in there anyway. But I'm trying to make the stream a bit more sort of user-friendly, you know, visually a little bit nicer, having a few things for you to actually see on the screen and things happening. So hopefully it's, you know, it works and everybody appreciates that. So anyway, yes, we were just looking at the charts. For those of you who are just joining us now, we were taking a look at Bitcoin. I was doing a victory lap, of course, and why wouldn't I? Because you know, everybody's been very bearish about Bitcoin for ages, and you know, me and the rest of the Crypto Pig team, we were all saying that we did not see this as being the end of the bull run. In fact, I think I streamed months and months and months ago when I said, look at this, we are at the beginning of the bull run effectively, and I compared it to Bitcoin months ago. I think, if I could probably even just do it now. I think I compared this, yeah, this is what I remember, this is what I said. So I compared this here to this here at the beginning of the actual last bull run, and you all probably thought it was crazy because, you know, that would mean that we're going up a hell of a lot more. Realistically speaking, we're probably actually more likely to be here, I suppose, in terms of how much more we can go. But I knew we had more to go. And we looked at the Wyckoff pattern as well. There was that really popular video that got shared with us on our Telegram group. And we were looking at the Wyckoff pattern and how this really did actually follow that Wyckoff pattern as they distributed and then sold off. And then, of course, this is the Wyckoff accumulation pattern playing out down here, which we also talked about in a previous live stream, which is why I've not been overly concerned. And I think I said to people that if we were going to go down as low as 28k, it would only be because we continued in the channel, not because of a big massive sell-off. So I was never super bearish about Bitcoin anyway. Now, are we officially out of this bear trend? Not quite, of course. We've had a really great attempt at a breakout today. We saw ourselves reach 40k and just over, which is fantastic news. But we are seeing some pullback now. We are, of course, overbought on the stochastic RSI. And, you know, but at the same time, you know, we are above the top of this channel. So my feelings on this are that either we will pump up even more, break 40k, and then from there we will probably accumulate a bit and then pump some more. Or what's more likely, in my opinion, is that we will now, over the next day or two, retrace back to the top of this channel and find ourselves turning that into support. If that happens, we may have like a week or so of that accumulation, maybe not even that long, considering that you know, this pump here came across on the weekend, which I wasn't expecting. But we may see it accumulate a little bit more before it pumps up again. But I do feel like this is what we're going to be expecting. And if you remember, when we were looking at the Wyckoff accumulation pattern, this is pretty much what was meant to happen. It was meant to kind of just range and cause people a lot of worries and fake outs, breakouts. And then, of course, finally it would come up and it would actually find support before heading off to the moon. So if we do hold up above this top of the channel, then we can be bullish, okay? And that's where I'll be buying up more Bitcoin. If we break back into this, then it's going to be likely that we will continue to range. It's not the end of the world. The point is that there is still excitement for Bitcoin, and there's a lot of stuff happening in the markets which makes me feel like this is literally very... Oh, that's my dogs doing something they shouldn't be doing. It makes me feel like we are going to be heading for the bull run once more, and very soon as well. So, okay, so charts out of the way. What was the news regarding all of this? What was happening? Okay, so interestingly enough, we do need to be slightly cautious about where this pump came from, okay? So crypto market surge $170 billion, Bitcoin and DeFi tokens lead the way. Now, in this article, they do say that it turns out that Chinese FOMO may have driven the market pump, okay? So there's a lot of Chinese people buying up Bitcoin. You see here, Bitcoin rose by 12% in 1 hour, leading the increase because Chinese have just gotten up. It's obvious that the price of Bitcoin started to rise after this rumor about Amazon spread in the Chinese community. Now, that doesn't mean it's the Chinese, you know, just because the Chinese. It's just because they heard the news first, basically. But just be wary that China is obviously, you know, they've been like closing down the miners. They aren't big fans of crypto, you know, Bitcoin at least, and other cryptocurrencies, because they do want to establish their own CBDC coin as the primary coin to be used. So it's quite possible that they will, you know, try and ban Bitcoin or something like that in the future. So there'll be some form of FUD, maybe in a few weeks, maybe in a few months, but it's probably bound to turn up at some point in the future that they're going to do something like that or try something like that. They won't be able to succeed, of course, because you can't ban Bitcoin. But we've seen how the markets react to news about the Chinese markets, and so it definitely could happen. So we'll just keep our eyes out on it, not particularly panicked about that. The good news, of course, is that we've seen that burst in volume. We've also got the fact that DeFi's total value locked up is now approaching $100 billion again. DeFi, I feel, is going to be the biggest investment space in crypto for quite some time to come, which is why investing in Ethereum, and this is not financial advice, as you can see, but this is why Ethereum is a good investment, in my opinion. It's why I've got Ethereum. And, you know, it's why so many institutions are buying Ethereum, because of the DeFi protocols on there. Of course, there are now other projects that are doing very well. And, you know, we've got Cardano coming out with their smart contract platform soon. There's also things like Scale, who are actually building a layer 2 solution for Bitcoin, so that there'll be DeFi projects built on Bitcoin as well. So we've got to keep our eyes open on these opportunities, because DeFi is going to be where that money is. And I mean, if the layer 2 solution on Bitcoin happens and works well and is fast enough and cheap enough, I mean, Bitcoin will probably be able to hold its position at number 1 for a little while longer. We'll see how long that lasts, though, because Ethereum is, I think, without a doubt, eventually going to flip Bitcoin, just because of the utility on the network. But yes, let's get on with the news. Oh, is it going to lose the tweet that I found? No, there we go. Okay, so there's this tweet here from Eric Balchunas. This is the analyst over at Bloomberg. He says that one of their crypto analysts is saying that Bitcoin is more likely to hit 60k than 20k based on historical price patterns. And also says that China's rejection of open source software crypto assets may mark a plateau in the country's economic ascent. It's a pretty interesting take, and I think it would be interesting to see how that plays out for China. The fact that they are rejecting crypto in its true form might actually damage their economy. So it says in the actual tweet here, Bitcoin is more likely to revert towards $60,000 resistance versus $20,000 support if its history of recovering from similar too cold conditions are any guide. Our graphic depicts the benchmark crypto akin to the 2018-19 consolidation period of around $4,000, just before launching to the 2019 peak at about $14,000. The more tactical trading orientated bears seem to proliferate when Bitcoin sustains at about 30% threshold below its 20-week moving average, allowing the buy and hold types time to accumulate. So yeah, I agree it's more likely to go up than to go to 20k. Too legit. Hey bro, sorry went away to do something, back now. I'm glad to see you there too. I'm glad to see you are back. We've just been going through some charts and some news. We will be taking your chart requests at the end of the stream, so stick around for that, and I'll be looking at some charts you want to look at. And so yes, we can see that there are enough analysts now feeling very bullish about it, and even some of those bears have also been talking about how they are now bullish, of course, for Bitcoin again. We've been bullish about it the whole time, and we kept saying it's more likely to go to 300 grand than it is to go to 10. Now, of course, it could go lower. It could be that we do find ourselves back down into this range, but I'm not panicking about that. The market is going to do what it wants to do at the end of the day, I suppose, but I believe we're going to probably find support here on the top of the channel, which is exactly what I'm looking for. If that happens, then we will be looking to buy up more Bitcoin, because it will then start to head off towards 60k next, and once we get past 60k, we're off to the moon. It's going to be 100k and beyond. Very, very certain of that anyway. And the other stuff that I think is going to also affect how well Bitcoin manages now is the new rules coming into place with a lot of the big exchanges. Binance and FTX are now reducing their leverage from 100x to 20x. They're saying to encourage responsible trading. Now, I still believe that 20x for somebody who's not experienced is very, very dangerous territory when it comes to leverage. I mean, you are talking big potential losses with still not a very big move in the market. But what I'm hoping that we're going to see is we're going to see less of these massive, ridiculous liquidations, where we sort of see in the news about millions and millions and billions of dollars being wiped out from over-leveraged positions. Those type of things, they do cause panic, I think. When we see a big bit in the news about these longs being liquidated, it causes panic amongst the retail investors, and then we see that spiral. By limiting the actual leverage, it does limit the actual amount of losses in terms of, the market can move a little bit more before those positions end up being stopped out. Now, if you're doing leverage positions, you should probably set stop losses anyway, and you shouldn't be going to zero, but of course some people, they don't learn. The good news here, of course, is that these exchanges are starting to realize that, it's not actually smart to be letting people on their platforms do that. Let's have a look and see what it says here. Yeah, here we go. Twitter user Crypto Tolkien asserted that many new traders have become perma-bears on Bitcoin and crypto after losing their shirt to high leverage in their first trades. However, others said that 20x was still a lot of leverage, and I mean, I agree. Like I said, guys, I don't tend to do anything over 5x, and even then, I won't do it all that often because the risks are, the risks are there. Of course, for new traders, it's very tempting because it's this idea of being able to get rich quick. But I do think that exchanges do have a responsibility to the people using them, and at the end of the day, this is better than them stealing your money on something that they know you're likely to lose on. So I think that is great news, and I think we will probably start seeing some stability as a result of that. Andrea's in the chat. Hey, Andrea, how are you doing? Andrea says, do you think that Cardano will not go to the moon because of Bitcoin? Well, no. See, this is where, I mean, I know that I've said some negative things about Cardano ADA regarding price action, not regarding the project. And I want to make sure that's really clear, because I do think and do really believe in Cardano ADA as a project. I think that everything they're doing is spot on. Okay, I think that their approach to this is perfect. Yes, it's slow, but I feel like that because they're taking that approach to things, they're trying to get things right the first time. Once it's really goes live with smart contracts, there will be less exploits. There will be less hacks, and we will hopefully see that Cardano's platform for smart contracts will be actually very stable and secure and very usable, and also very popular because a lot of people do really like Cardano ADA. My only real concern with Cardano has been the price action and the actual technical analysis for it, because the actual charts, as I was showing you guys on Friday, it doesn't have an awful lot of support below $1, which means that if it did drop below that, then it would end up being a bit of a disaster in that we would see the price probably plummet back down to 30 cents. And that's only because the price moved up so rapidly that, I mean, it basically went parabolic, which means that it can come down a lot harder as a result of that. Luckily, as we saw today, it's now up to $1.30, I believe it is. Yeah, $1.30, which is good news because it means that we are bringing some more distance between that $1 level and where we are right now. And the further we get up, the better that will be, of course. And if we can find ourselves maybe ranging at some point to build a really nice solid support level, then once it flies up even further, and it probably will do as a result of the market moving now, then Cardano will be fine. It's just literally where it is kind of at the moment that makes me nervous. But we will look at Cardano ADA's chart in a second, actually. I think it would be worth to do that and to have a little look. So let's go quickly take a look at Cardano ADA and see where we're at. Okay. Now, I will actually bring the other template in. So let's go back to... Okay. Right. So, as I was saying to you guys, we had that descending triangle pattern. My concern, of course, being this potential for a death cross. However, the market is pushing. So, if we could actually see the price get up over $1.40 in the next couple of days, we will avoid a death cross. And it will probably look something like this here, okay? So we won't get that death cross, which is a very bearish signal, and people will panic if it does do that, because, I mean, even if you don't believe in technical analysis, the psychology of it does affect traders. So if it had that death cross, then yeah, we would probably see some sell-off, and probably the price would actually move along this trajectory, which was, the resistance at the moment, right? So that would be the potential. But I think actually, as long as the market moves up now and continues with the actual bullish sentiment that we now have today, then we'll probably end up having it look like this instead. A close call, but nothing, it's not going to cause a complete collapse in that price. We do, like I said, want to see ourselves get ourselves above $1.50, because if you look, that's the sort of next real sort of level of resistance. If we can get above $1.50, flip that to support range there for a bit, we will see Cardano ADA do very well this year. The fact that the smart contracts are coming very soon, and the upgrade, the Alonzo White upgrades up, and they're phasing it through, means that we will probably end up seeing Cardano go a lot higher than it is right now as a result. I do think, like I said, the reason Ethereum is doing so damn well right now is DeFi, okay? Bring that to Cardano, and Cardano will be golden, okay? Oh dear. Do you think that the target of 21 could be $7? I wouldn't want to say yet, because I'd have to remind myself about market cap and all the rest of it and have a look, and so I wouldn't want to hazard a guess. What would that be percentage wise from here? So you're looking at like a 500%, 500, 600% to get to that sort of level. What is the market cap right now? Hold on, bear with me, and I'll just quickly look. Just bring that over for you guys to see. And what am I looking at here? Oh, NFT coins. Let's go back to home. Check it out. Okay, so Cardano is currently at number 5, and it has a market cap of $40 billion. So, in order for it to get, we would need to see Cardano really get up to 3rd. Right, we'd need to see it get up to 3rd. We'd need to see it getting, hundreds of billions of dollars in market cap. Could that be done this year? I think that it would probably be a stretch for it to get that high this year. I think that definitely long term that's long term that's definitely possible, and no doubt about that. And what we will see is, of course, as this market gets bigger, all cryptocurrencies will get larger market caps as a result. So by then, Ethereum will probably have a 700 billion market cap. Bitcoin will have some other ridiculously huge market cap. So it is going to be a case of long term for that, I think. But it's definitely a long-term hodl, and one that will actually still do very well this year. $7 may be a stretch, but it's certainly doubling from where we are now is easily done this year. So I think that we will probably see some big gains on it eventually. Well, I'm thinking next couple of years for that one. Hope that helped, Andrea. So yes. Let's go across then back to our news stuff. So that was Cardano ADA. I'm glad we chatted about that and had a look. We talked about, we were talking about reduction in leverage. That's good for crypto in general. And then we've got Uniswap. And I thought this was interesting because Uniswap is supposed to be decentralized, which means that it should be regulation resistant. Yet they've gone and delisted 100 tokens. Most of them are options, indexes, synthetic tokens, and stocks. So those have actually been added onto the lab's blacklist because of regulation concerns. So I think that this to me is a little bit, I mean, I understand that, you know, long term, I think if you want your project to survive, long term this is, you will probably have to eventually start thinking about being regulated, or at least compliant with whatever regulations are in place where you operate, right? Because the people coming into the space now, like, you know, 2017, 2018, that was the retail phase. Okay, that was the speculative buying. Now what we've got the institutions coming in. This bull run is different in that respect, that it's now big money coming in here. It's hedge funds, it's new brokers and big companies and people, you know, treasuries and things like that coming in and going, we need to diversify our portfolios. Let's do that with Bitcoin. Let's do that with DeFi. They do have to work within the bounds of the law, right? Because they are actual licensed, most of them are licensed entities and have to stick to the regulations of the countries they live in. So if you're building a DEX, you may end up having to be regulated or regulatory compliant in order to make sure that you get that big money coming in from those hedge funds, right? So this does make sense, but at the same time, I can understand people are a bit like upset with this because they're like, well, you're meant to be a decentralized exchange. To me, it's not too big a problem. I mean, I don't actually buy tokenized stocks or synthetic tokens even, but I do think that I would like the regulations, if they are going to come up with them, to be sped up, because I do think that security tokens and tokenized stocks are going to be a big game changer to the space, and I just think that we need that clarity so that we can kind of get on with it and start to actually start to have these things traded more openly. And we'll see. I mean, I don't know. I imagine that these tokenized stocks will just end up on other more decentralized exchanges. So kind of like mixed feelings on this one. Like I said, I think it's good in one way because obviously we do need to make sure that we go as mainstream as possible. I mean, it was fun that this was really niche when we started, but if we want it to do really well and we want to get rich out of it, we will need it to go mainstream eventually. So that's all part of that side. And then the other side is, you know, I mean, we're waiting for regulations all the time. And so that's not great. And then, of course, the last bit of news, which is super important, of course, Amazon definitely lining up Bitcoin payments and token, confirms insider. This is the news that started it all this weekend, as you guys know. Amazon is looking to accept Bitcoin payments by the end of this year, and it's investigating its own token for 2022, says an insider. Now, people are saying, you know, oh, how long now till Amazon come out saying, no, we're not, and the price tanks. They may do that just to, I don't know, just because they want to mess with the market, or because they don't want the cat out of the bag. But then if that was the case, they wouldn't have opened those ads for people to work on developing blockchain stuff. And they are actively seeking out blockchain staff and blockchain developers. They're looking at different companies in the space. I can't say too much, but I do know that they are very serious about blockchain technology, and I do know that they are actively getting involved with different companies, and they're reaching out and asking questions, and they are getting very involved in the actual tech side of things. So this to me rings true. I believe this is true. We will see how it plays out. But it's not too much of a stretch. I mean, if you guys have got a Kindle or anything like that, you'll know that they have Amazon Coin anyway. It's not, of course, a cryptocurrency, but it is a reward. Hold on, let me find it. Now, of course, I search for Amazon Coin, and of course, it straight away brings up the articles about Amazon doing Bitcoin. But the actual Amazon Coin I'm talking about is this one here, guys. So you can buy Amazon Coin, which is kind of cool. And it gives, basically, it lets you save on apps, games, and in-store items. And 100 coins are worth $1. And you can use them to buy stuff in game, right? So they have had their own, what do we call these again? Oh my god, I forget. The in-game currency, basically. Is their equivalent of an in-game currency. And they've had that for years now. I mean, literally for years. In fact, I would even hazard a guess that this was actually something you could do with the Kindle before Bitcoin even got popular. So this isn't too much of a stretch to think that they would go that one step further and go, right, let's make actual Amazon coins on a blockchain. Bear with me a second. So it's not a stretch, and like I said, I have a very, very strong feeling that they are very serious about this. And I can't say where I got that feeling from. Hint, hint. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge. But I do know that they're serious about blockchain technology. So, Andrea asked about VET. VeChain, I haven't really looked at for a long time. I can't remember the last time I talked about VeChain or even looked at what they were doing. So maybe that's one I will think about looking at for Friday, or maybe a video in the week or something like that. But we could definitely do something in there. But yes, so that's the news. And as far as I'm concerned, we are now at 37,700. So we are seeing that pullback now. Let's just quickly check out where we are on Bitcoin, because we may even, wouldn't that be terrible luck, may even come back into that channel while we're still talking on the stream. No, it's not yet. We're okay. So, but currently we are still above that channel. Let's have a look at it on the 1 hour. Okay, so as I was saying to you guys there, look at the RSI is headed down to there. I think that it's not holding there at around 37,800. It is heading down further. And as you can see there, yeah, we're getting some sell-off now. It's quite likely that we are going to come down then and retest this channel. That's what I was expecting and hoping for anyway, as I was saying to you guys. So I'm not too panicked. Let's see how it plays out. It's quite a bit of red volume there. Quite a bit of sell-off. So let's see. It may well be that it finds support here at around 37,600. But like I said, I'm not panicked about it. Let's see what happens. Hopefully we will come down and the actual 50-day moving average, or sorry, it's a 50-hour moving average, is going to act as some support and ties in then nicely with the top of our channel. That's the plan. Hopefully that's where it sticks to, and then we just accumulate there. I'm happy if we do that. If we don't, and it does break down back into the channel, we might see a return of the bears, and they may end up shorting. As a result of that, we may go back down to the bottom of the channel and continue with that ranging, though I am feeling like it's hopefully going to actually hold itself and find support here. If it doesn't, then I think we will probably hopefully find support at just under 35. pardon me, 35k. So let's see how it plays out. I will obviously be back with you again live at the end of the week, so we will be able to assess how right or wrong we were. And I will put a video out on Wednesday. And maybe actually I'll do a video about VeChain, because I don't think I've done one about VeChain, and seeing as you asked, Andrea, I could do it, definitely. So if there's any other chart apart from VeChain, because I'll do a separate video for that one, if there's any other chart you'd like me to look at before we finish up for the night, please do let me know, guys, and I will take a look right now for you before we finish up. Let me just go there, and what's that comment? Bear with me. Misha Young says a must-have token is Lattice. Great project and unique as well. Lattice, I think I remember this one. This one is not typical blockchain, is it? This one is, it actually uses what they call a lattice network, I think. That one, we could take a look at LTX quickly. So this one is only on KuCoin and Uniswap, apparently. So it's probably quite low market cap, I imagine. We're obviously on the 1 hour time frame. That's seen pretty good recovery today. So, you know, with the pump. Let's take a look at it on the 1 day time frame. And Lattice, quite relatively new, February start. Okay, and that's interesting. We just draw in some lines. Bear with me. Okay, right, interesting. So, I don't know what this project's about, so I can't give you huge amounts of information about it. I will just look at the chart though for it. Obviously, we've only got the 50-day moving average because it's not old enough to have a 200-day one. Pumped pretty well after its first sort of week, or well, actually, sorry, I should say, was it? Yeah, probably about its first sort of week or two. Pumped pretty well and found resistance then at $1.37. And you can see there that actually it has attempted on the 11th of July, attempted to actually kind of get through that resistance level once more. So actually for people who got into this one, actually it's pretty resilient considering what the rest of the market's been up to. And we are sort of seeing some support there on that trend line. I reckon, and then if you also consider that 89 cents is a support level as well, what you probably see is, you know, on the RSI it looks like it's going to come down a bit. I think you probably find it will probably range on this support level, and probably until, you know, probably range there until the actual breakout and the rest of the breakout in the market, I reckon. If this line is actually something, and of course, you know, there's not many touch points, but if it is something, then it will probably come back down to here, and then maybe even take another attempt at that $1.37 resistance level. Midwinter wants to look at XRP. We will definitely take a look at XRP. I'll put that one up next. All right, stop spamming. I'm doing it. XRP. It's coming. Oh dear. So, as for Lattice, yeah, it looks interesting. I would need to know more about the project, but from a chart point of view, looks like there's probably some happy investors because you know, if you got in the beginning, you're still well in profit, and it doesn't look like the market downturn has had that big an effect on it. So it's kind of cool. We'll see how that one plays out. Maybe remind me in a few days, and we'll take another look. All right, Midwinter. XRP. Oh dear. Let's go and take a look. Right. XRP. What are we after? Okay. So we've had our death cross on the XRP. Right. I think last time we looked at it, I said it looked like a death cross was coming. In fact, it might have even been back here. We were talking about it back in June maybe, while we were still above the 200-day moving average. So, short term, probably a little bit bearish. Not like, big massive dump of the price bearish. Just we're not probably going to see, especially if Bitcoin ranges now, we might not see the big massive pump in the price. I reckon we're probably going to see a range for a little bit, but nothing serious, nothing to panic about. Anyway, let's do some lines. So we've got support here at 53 cents. And actually, the good news for XRP is there's actually quite a few levels of support. I mean, you could even probably consider this whole section here as a band of support. But we've got some good levels of support there for XRP. And right now, we are obviously looking at a test again of 53 cents, I would have thought. Yet, I have a feeling that this is probably where it's going to range. If it breaks down from there, though, it will go to probably around, it'll be somewhere between 48 cents and 41 cents, because that is going to be kind of a strong band of support right there. But at the moment, there's nothing to say that that's going to break down from there. Death cross is a lagging indicator, like I always say. Once you've had the death cross, it means you're almost at the bottom of whatever negative price action you're looking at. So wherever we go from here, it will be the bottom for XRP very soon. So if we find ourselves holding there at 54 cents, that's probably going to be where we bottom out. Yep, and yes, exactly, Midwinter. Midwinter says there in the chat, once that case ends, we'll be good though. Exactly. The only reason that XRP is remaining bearish is just because of the SEC case. Once that's over, regardless of the result, and this is the funny thing, it doesn't matter if it goes their way for Ripple or not. Once it's resolved, then XRP will start moving again. So if they lose, yeah, it might dip because of the bad news associated with that, but it will not actually be. It won't last. It'll be like a dip in the ocean, and then it will pump back up again. Because what happens when the SEC finishes a case? Normally, they fine the company pays the fine, and everybody gets on with their business, right? It's just a big extortion racket. So once if they lose and they pay a fine, they're fine, everything's back to normal again. Yeah, the price would crash a little bit, but it will bounce back very quickly once that's out the way. If they win, it will pump massively and very, very quickly. So we're going to see a very extreme reaction either way, which I suppose makes it difficult for people who aren't sure whether they should be buying or not. Personally, I've got a bag of XRP. I've had a big bag of it for ages, and I may consider buying more if I feel that we're going to bottom out at around 53 cents. I'll probably wait to see. It would be more of a kind of a it would be a very sort of not risky as such, because I know that it will go back up eventually, but it'll be a slightly risky purchase at this point, because obviously the case could mean that either it dumps down even further and I could buy it lower, or it'll pump and I'll make loads of money. But it's kind of a very risky situation, and as you say, Midwinter, they need to stop dragging it. Exactly. The thing is here is that if Ripple had just decided to, because they were given the option, by the way, at the beginning of this, to pay a fine and just have it all over and done with. That's my understanding. I'm sure that's what I've read and been told. So they did have the option to actually do this. They could have had this done and out of the way, but they decided actually they were going to fight the SEC. Fair enough, I guess, but of course it just means that the XRP is in limbo as a result of that. But what we will see is if Bitcoin does actually recover now and goes back into bull mode, then XRP will, of course, head up with it. And, you know, we will see ourselves hopefully get over 70 cents, because that, of course, is the next sort of resistance level. It'll probably be a tough one, because it is between 70 and 78 cents that there's this kind of resistance band. But if we get back up there, then that will be good, and it'll be just a very short-lived death cross. And again, you know, looking to the past, you know, if we had some big strong sort of increase in the price, we could see ourselves get out of that death cross quite quickly. But it will depend on what the rest of the market does as such. I'm not particularly scared for XRP, because I do think that it's one of those projects that has enough backing that it will it will survive regardless of which way the news goes. Hopefully that was helpful. So just to summarize, I think it's probably going to come back down to 52 cents for now, 53 cents, but it's probably going to range there, so no panic. All right, I hope that was helpful for you guys. Oh, see, I'm talking so much, I'm losing my voice already. There we go. I'm into Ecomi. We will look at Ecomi in the next live stream for you, Midwinter. And I say that because... Damn it, spam me. I say that because it is 10 o'clock, and unfortunately I've got to pop out in a moment because I didn't do my shopping in the day. I need to go and get some stuff for the cupboard. I have kids and they need feeding, so I better make sure I've got food in for them, I'm afraid. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed the stream, guys. I enjoyed doing the stream, as always. Good to see you all in the chat, and I hope that you found this video, this stream useful, and I hope it's given you the hopium that you need. I will, just very quickly before I sign off, just double check Bitcoin and make sure that we have not had our hopes dashed. No, we're okay. We're still holding at that $37,700 level. I think we're going to be okay. Let's see how it plays out for us at the end of the week, guys. All right, hope you have a great week. I'll put a video out about VeChain for you, Andrea, on Wednesday. And then we will do another live stream on Friday, so please join me for that. And we will take a look at Ecomi for you, Midwinter, at that point. Oh, and you just subscribed? Wait, did you just subscribe? Literally just subscribe, Midwinter. Right, because the reason I say that is because there is a tradition. I don't know if Cheesley, are you still on the stream? Or have you disappeared and gone somewhere? Because Cheesley loves the tradition. It's basically, we have a tradition on the channel, Midwinter, which is that anybody who subscribes gets a dab. And this is because I didn't do the dab when the dab was cool, and I feel I missed out, so I want to bring the dab back. So you may want to unsubscribe after you've seen this, because you'll probably think, oh, this is so cringy that you have to leave. But I'm going to give you the dab, sir. You get the dab. Everybody who subscribes gets a dab, whether they like it or not. So here you go. And because Bitcoin is, well, it's not over 40,000 now, but it's done very well. You get the 9,000 dab, okay? My Super Saiyan dab, that's what it is. It's over 9,000 dab! There you go. That's your treat for tonight. If I remember rightly, and somebody will correct me if I'm wrong, that actually, the reason it's over 9,000, by the way, Super Saiyan, is because I think that I did it when Bitcoin went over 9,000 at some point, and so that was my dab, the Super Saiyan dab. So I hope you enjoyed that, Midwinter, and it hasn't scared you off. I'll see you on the next stream on Friday, hopefully so. Alright guys, take care, have a great night, and Midwinter says laugh my arse off. Yep. Yep, that's it, that's what you get. And I still get super red and embarrassed of myself, for doing it, but oh dear, gotta do it. Nice one. Alright guys, have a great night. I will see you all on Friday, I guess. Have a good one. Bye.